Georgia in line to receive $250 million in broadband funding. Planning grants handed out to 4 states by the NTIA. Churn for premium streaming services up yet again. And the Fiber Broadband Association welcomes a new vice president of public policy. Those stories and more on This Week in the Broadband Universe. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Craig Corbin. $250 million in federal funding for expansion of high-speed internet access will be heading to Georgia. Broadband providers in 33 primarily rural counties across the state will be eligible to apply for grants targeting unserved and underserved areas. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp announced the funding earlier this year, and this week's release by the Treasury Department begins the application and evaluation process. The Department of Commerce's National Telecommunication and Information Administration has awarded nearly $22 million in planning grants to 4 states as part of the Broadband Equity, Access and Deployment and Digital Equity Act programs. States receiving the latest planning grants: Florida with nearly $7.5 million, Mississippi nearly $6 million, Utah $5.6 million, and South Dakota with more than $3 million. All 50 states and 6 territories applied for planning grants, with the eligible entities announced on a rolling basis. NCTA, the Internet and Television Association, is advocating in favor of a new bipartisan bill focused on subsidizing rural broadband expansion, especially in areas with no existing physical communications infrastructure. The bill would streamline USDA rural broadband programs, in effect replacing the current Reconnect program in order to better target locations without wired broadband service. Last year, $1.5 billion in loans and grants were made available through the USDA's Reconnect program. A major milestone this week for the National Wireless Safety Alliance were that the organization has officially surpassed 10,000 certifications issued to workers in the communications infrastructure industry. NWSA currently offers 2 levels of certification for telecommunications tower technicians, along with certification for antenna and line specialty and foreman. The National Wireless Safety Alliance is a nonprofit organization established by the communications industry to provide verifiable worker trade certifications to enhance safety, reduce workplace issues, and improve quality. Word this week that Disney is paying $900 million for Major League Baseball's stake in BAMTech, the streaming technology services operation used by Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN. The deal gives Disney 100% ownership of the operation. MLB launched the precursor to BAMTech back in 2000. Disney invested $1 billion in the company 6 years ago. The Fiber Broadband Association leadership team now has a new vice president of public policy. Marissa Mitrovich was named to the post this week. She most recently served as vice president of federal legislative affairs for Frontier. Mitrovich will lead the FBA's advocacy efforts before Congress, the White House, and regulatory agencies in Washington, D.C. Churn during Q3 up yet again for the premium subscription streaming services, including Netflix. According to research firm Antenna, losses were up 7% from the same period a year ago. 32 million subscribers canceled services, with the top 10 premium U.S. streaming services. And finally, you knew it was only a matter of time. ESPN has snagged yet another championship event. Coming on December 18th, the PPA Team Championships will air on ABC. Well, what is the PPA? Well, the Professional Pickleball Association, of course. Coverage of the first ever PPA Tour Team Championships will feature finals from the 4-team tourney, including a series of doubles matches in the semifinal round. The PPA event slated to be held in Las Vegas. You know, once cornhole became regular viewing on ESPN, you knew pickleball was right around the corner. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on This Week in the Broadband Universe.